In this episode, I will show you how to make the best Swedish meatballs, but I will also show you and reveal how to make the best Swedish meatball sauce. So make sure to watch the video to the end and enjoy it. So first of all, for our Swedish meatballs, I will make Pressgurka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, and if you know, do me a favor, comment down below, correct or incorrect. So Pressgurka, what it is? Pressgurka is basically pickled cucumbers. Let's begin. Take one English cucumber and carefully slice it on the mandolin, so that you'll get identical slices. Transfer sliced cucumbers into the bowl, add 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt will help cucumbers to release water. Mix it, place another bowl on top of the cucumbers, and leave it for about 30 minutes. Now I'll show you how to make lingonberry sauce. This is the ideal sauce for the Swedish meatballs. But since it's extremely hard to find it in the United States, I'm substituting and using fresh cranberries. And they work outstanding. I got 1 Mineola orange. I love it because it's very juicy. And that's exactly what I need. Zest it, cut it in half and juice it. Transfer the juice into the separate cup. Add cranberries in a pot. I got 1 pound of fresh cranberries. Pour it on a medium-low heat. Add orange zest, pour orange juice, add half a cup of sugar. Mix it, bring it to a light simmer, and simmer on a low heat for about 30 to 40 minutes. Take a couple strings of parsley and dill and chop it fine. And now let's come back to our pickled cucumbers. Cucumbers released a lot of water, drain it out, and now let's marinate it. Add 4 teaspoons of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, chopped parsley and dill, add half a teaspoon of caraway seeds, pour 1/4 of a cup of filtered water, mix it, tap it with another bowl, and put something heavy on top of that bowl. I'm using cast iron pan. Leave it to marinate it in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours. 30 minutes passed, my cranberry sauce is ready. Take a hand blender and blend it. Strain the sauce with a mesh strainer and leave it to cool down. Now it's time to make the meatballs. Take 1 large onion, grate it on a large box grater. You can go ahead and borrow your kids' goggles to protect your eyes. Pour some vegetable oil and saute the onion. Preheat the pan to medium heat. Press 2 cloves of garlic in and saute everything for about 5 to 6 minutes. Onion can slightly turn green, and don't freak out, it's totally fine. Season it with some salt, and saute it until it's lightly caramelized. Transfer it into the sheet pan or any other plate to cool down. Now let's make panade. In a bowl combine 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground allspice, 3/4 of a cup of whole milk, crack in 2 large eggs, season it with freshly ground white pepper, add 1 teaspoon of salt, mix it well with a fork and put it aside. For my Swedish meatballs that are much better than IKEA meatballs, I'm using 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. Transfer it into the bowl, season it with salt and white pepper. Add sauteed onions, panade, mix everything together. I prefer to do it with my hands, so all the ingredients are well incorporated. And I want to feel the texture of the meat. Put it in the fridge for 30 minutes, until everything is set. While the meat is in the fridge, let's work on our mashed potatoes. Take 6 russet potatoes, peel them, cut them into quarters. Transfer it into the bowl with cold water. Get a pot with cold water, Transfer the potatoes in and make sure to season it with some salt. Cook the potatoes until they're fully cooked. And now it's time to form the meatballs. Remove the meat from the fridge. I prefer to make my meatballs small, approximately 1 inch. Like that they will cook fast and will be juicy and more flavorful. My meatballs are ready. I got 1.5 sheet pan of meatballs. Put the uncooked meatballs in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You want them to completely set. Stop! Don't go anywhere. Now I will show you how to make delicious creamy mashed potatoes, a perfect side dish for my Swedish meatballs. Take 6 tablespoons of butter, cut it into small pieces. My potatoes are cooked and I'm using my favorite tool, potato ricer, to rice my potatoes. It makes the potatoes fluffy without any lumps. Add 6 tablespoons of butter that I just cut, 1.5 cups of hot milk. Mix it. Season it with salt, white pepper, grate some fresh nutmeg. Nutmeg works great with mashed potatoes, so make sure never skip this step. Mix it well until all the ingredients well incorporated and my mashed potatoes are ready. Now let's cook the meatballs. Preheat the pan to medium heat, add 2 tablespoons of butter, some vegetable oil to prevent the butter from burning. Place meatballs into the pan clockwise and sear them for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side until golden brown in color. After all the meatballs are seared, make sure not to clean the pan, because that's where the flavor is. Because this is the base for our sauce. Carefully transfer the meatballs into the sheet pan. And now I will show you how to make the best Swedish meatball sauce. And this is the sauce that takes it to another level. I'll show you one ingredient that I did at home, and I keep it all the time in the freezer. And now let's make my signature Swedish meatball sauce. Into the same pan, add 2.5 tablespoons of flour, cook it on a medium heat for about 2 to 3 minutes. And here is my secret ingredient, demi-glace. I always keep it in my freezer and make it every 3 months. The full recipe you can check in the video description, and in the right corner now. Pour 1 cup of demi-glace into the pan and 1.5 cups of my homemade or good quality store-bought beef stock. Bring it to a boil and transfer my sauce into the saucepan so it's easier for me to work with. Add 2 tablespoons of Westchester shire sauce, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. If you think that the sauce is way too loose, mix 1 teaspoon of cornstarch and 1 teaspoon of cold water and gradually add it into the sauce. Season it with white pepper, pour half a cup of heavy cream, let it cook for 2 minutes on a low heat. And the secret to irresistible Swedish meatball sauce revealed. Trust me, the sauce will take your meatballs to another level. Take a pan and let's warm up the meatballs with the sauce. Transfer the desired amount of meatballs into the pan and top it with some sauce. I'm finally done, and now it's time to plate it. I'm gonna top everything with this beautiful Swedish meatball sauce. Take a plate, add mashed potato, spread it with a spoon, add Pressgurka, but make sure to drain the liquid first. Put meatballs on top of mashed potato. On a side, add cranberry sauce. And top these beautiful meatballs with some more meatball sauce. Decorate it with some freshly chopped parsley. And my delicious Swedish meatballs with the sauce is ready. Enjoy this beautiful recipe and don't forget to give me some thumbs up.